It's time to wake up, witches. I'm your host, Kat Adams, and I'm here to remind you that no matter where you're at in life, you're not stuck. I am back. So a week ago, I was on a plane coming back to hot, humid, sticky Memphis from the beautiful West Coast where they had the most perfect weather. The whole time we were in San Francisco and Oregon, we wore light jackets that we usually had to take off during the day, but the nights were chilly enough to get in a hot tub or run a fire pit, and it was freaking amazing. So I saw a meme one time that said something like, you come home from, everyone asks when you come home from a vacation, everyone at work anyways asks, are you feeling refreshed? And like, you needed that time, so now you can hop back into work. And it's like, hell no. I'm not feeling refreshed. Like I want to hop back into work. I'm questioning my life now. I'm feeling like I need to run away. I'm feeling like I hate this job. I can kind of relate, except I don't hate my job, but going on vacation doesn't make me feel refreshed to the point where, let me just hop back into my same old life. It's like, no, I need to do something so I can have a vacation every day. So in that way, yes, I am refreshed and motivated. And this podcast and my books is part of that, because dream time, y'all. It would be amazing if I could one day go back to being a full-time author, podcaster, being in charge of my own schedule. I have a steady 9-to-5 and I love the stability of the pay with that. I will say that. Like being a full-time author is scary because you don't know what your paycheck's going to be. And I've been seeing a lot of authors lately jumping ship on for instance, going from wide to KU. If you don't know what that means, it's a big deal. Okay. It's a big deal. So, they're getting their income hits, and I don't want to do that. So it's a catch-22. And again, I'm rambling on something that you don't care about, because we're not talking about author stuff today. We're talking about sex. Yes, this is going to be a little bit controversial. So if you have little ears around, make sure you don't listen to this when they're in your presence. So let's get started with the topic of today. You'll notice when I did my series on, is my partner abusive or is he an asshole, I kind of skipped over sexual abuse. Now, sexual abuse is pretty in your face. It's pretty easy to define, but I do want to read real quick a couple of signs that you might not recognize. And pardon me, I don't know what's going on with my voice today, but it is just all crackly and shit. You're just going to have to put up with that. So here are a few examples I pulled off the interwebs of sexual abuse in marriage. Partner insists you dress a certain way that makes you uncomfortable, calls you explicit names, or criticizes you in a vulgar and sexual way, forces or manipulates you into sex, engages in sexual activities when you're unable to consent, like sleeping, intoxicated, or sick, forces you to do things sexually that you do not want to do, physically holds you down while forcing themselves on you. That is called rape, and yes, it can happen in a marriage. Just because you're his wife does not mean you owe him sex. I had to throw that in there. Hurts you with objects during sex, chokes, restrains, or physically hurts you during sex without your consent, involves other people in sexual activities without your consent, forces you to watch porn or make porn, refuses to practice safe sex, and prevents you from using birth control or making decisions about pregnancy. But let me throw one more in there that a lot of people do not realize is a form of abuse. And it is denying your sexual needs. And that's the one we're going to focus on today, because all this other stuff, everyone pretty much knows. But a lot of people do not talk about dead bedrooms. What is a dead bedroom? That means you ain't getting it. means you're not having an intimate life with your partner. Your sexual needs are not being met, no matter how hard you have tried to connect with your partner. And it's a dead bedroom. There's a lack of that connection. And yes, that can be a form of abuse. And it goes two ways here. So this is going to be a 2-part session. The first part, I want to talk about the dead bedroom that you might not be thinking about, because in society, we have stereotype where men always want sex and women don't. And I'm just here to tell you that is a load of bullshit. They both want it just the same. So if you're like, wait, no, I don't. Then you ain't with the right person. Or if you're like, no, my husband is not like that at all. There's got to be something wrong with him. There could be, but we're going to talk about that, because I know a lot of women who have husbands who never want sex. And it has become a big issue that they're really ashamed to talk about. So first things first, I'm going to leave that for next episode. I think it's juicier, and I actually have personal experience with that side of the story. This side, though, episode 1 on this little 2-part series, I want to talk about women's lack of libido and what could be going on there, and how it is not normal, even though you might think it is. And we like to joke, women make the excuse that they have a headache because they don't want to. No. That's not normal, and it's not healthy. And I'm here to tell you that getting your rocks off is going to get dirty. It's going to make you feel amazing. And if you don't believe me and you're like, no, I don't need that. You're a human. You need that connection. And if you're not getting it, it could be part of the reason why you're feeling miserable. So for you low libido women out there, this one's going to be for you. Next episode will be for you high libido women who are married, dating, whatever, a low libido partner. But this one is for these low libido women who are married to a partner who wishes they got a little bit more from you. So the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself, why? And be honest. And most of the time, when I ask like my friends who have come to me about their issues, about just not wanting it, and I ask them why, they don't know. So let me give you some reasons why you may be feeling like just not into your partner or just not in the mood that you might not be thinking about. Of course, there's the obvious ones, such as stress, menopause, children, you don't have time, you are truly tired, you're touched out, you're holding babies all day. The last thing you want is another arm wrapped around you. Confidence issues. You're not confident. You don't want your husband to see you naked because your body's changed since you've had the babies. You're embarrassed. So that is a you problem. But if that's a you problem and you're denying meeting your partner's sexual needs because of a you problem, that's not fair to them. And more than likely, they are not seeing the same, what do I want to call it? The same faults that you believe you have. They're not seeing that. They just want a piece of that ass. So ask yourself, are you truly not in the mood because of a you problem or because of a him problem? Because either way, it's not normal. You're supposed to have a healthy sex life if you are a healthy person. Now, look, if you're going through some shit like chemo or something, I totally understand. I am not saying sex is everything. I am saying it's a part of a healthy, intimate relationship. And if one of you are not getting your needs met, then there's going to be issues and you're going to feel like you're stuck. If you're married or in a relationship, you're not supposed to be roommates. You're not supposed to be just friends. You're supposed to be lovers. So how do you define a dead bedroom? How often are you supposed to be doing this? However often you want, where your relationship, where you in your relationship and your husband in your relationship are both happy. Am I telling you to go screw your husband just to get him to shut up? No, hell no. That is not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you to develop the mindset where you're not going to be one of those funny sitcom women who are like, oh, not tonight, honey, I have another headache. Like, that's not normal, no matter how much society wants to push that on women and like blame women for, all these issues. That's not normal. Normal women out there do appreciate good sex and a happy, healthy sex life. And they actually look forward to that with their partner. And if you're not, again, I'm so sorry to say, you either got the wrong partner, or your partner needs some help, or you need some help. And all that stuff can be addressed. So it's not the end of the line. If you're a low libido woman, you are probably constantly getting pushed into showing your husband some attention and some desire. They're probably grasping at straws. And then maybe you do this and it's super toxic. And yes, I'm talking to the ladies today about some of the things I know they do. I'm going to call you out. What is it called? It's called chore. Oh shit. What is it? It's when you trade chores for sex. As in, hey, honey, do you think you can wash my car and clean it today? Like I've asked you 10 times. I may give you a Hummer tonight. I'm trying to say like the least offensive words. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's just be real. If you're trading chores for sex, that's not cool, dude. That is a form of abuse, as is denying your partner's needs and not even trying. If your partner has come to you wanting date nights and has sincerely asked you, like, what can you do to fix the relationship? And you're just like, this is normal. I'm just a woman. We just don't want sex. No, that is so unfair to your partner. And yeah, I get it. Like you might have some stuff going on, but think about how that is going to affect your partner. What if he, and this is going to be episode 2, what if he all of a sudden stopped pursuing you? What if he all of a sudden made you feel not desirable? Like you get annoyed and you swat at his hand when he grabs your butt. What if he just stopped grabbing your butt altogether? I can guarantee you're going to think, oh shit, something's wrong. He probably found another woman. And no one wants to go down that road. So if you are having these issues where you feel like, I just don't want to have sex with my husband, I'm just, tired, or I'm not happy with myself, stop and ask yourself why. Is it a you problem? Are you lacking that confidence? Are you tired? Do you need some time alone, time away from the kids? Or is it a him problem? Is he just an ass? I don't blame you there. Don't fucking asshole. That could be misconstrued in a couple ways, but you know what? I'm not editing it out. If it is a him problem and you're just not attracted to him because of several different reasons, then I'm trying to think, this advice might get me in trouble. But you know what? I'm going to say it anyways. Maybe you're just not matched. If you're asking him to work on himself and like, hey, do you think maybe you could would do some chores? Maybe it could be 50-50. Maybe you could help. You could put away the dishes. I'll wash the dishes, just pitch in a little bit more around the house so I'm not so tired all the time. But if you're sitting there and you're washing the dishes and you're taking care of the kids and your husband's over there playing on TikTok and just sitting around, that's not attractive. And that's not a you problem. That's a him problem. He needs to get off his ass and be more attractive. Also, a lot of men, they lack some hygiene. I've read that so much that dudes are just not very hygienic. I cannot believe the amount of stories I've read on Ask Reddit that's like, my husband doesn't wash his ass. All right, that obviously is a him problem too. And again, There's so many answers to that question. Why do I not want to have sex with my husband? Notice I threw that in there. With my husband. Because I know some of these same low libido women who I am calling out, they do want to have sex with other men. That should tell you that there's nothing wrong with you if that is the case. That is the answer to if this is a you problem or a him problem. Because if you're wanting to have sex, just not with your husband, it's probably a him problem. You're not attracted to him. You do not find him desirable, and you need to dig down deep and figure out why, because that's not fair to him. And you either fix it or move on, because life is too short to be living as roommates. A healthy sex life is life-changing. Is sex everything in a relationship? No, but it is a lot. Having that intimate connection with your partner and being on the same level sexually is freaking amazing. And I believe everyone deserves to have that. A lot of times it's just mismatched libidos. And again, you can fix that, but it's hard, and most people, they don't. So again, step 1, ask yourself why and define, do I have a low libido because of me or because of him? Because I'm feeling like shit about myself, or because I feel like shit about him. I'm just not attracted to him. Like, he pisses me off all the time. We fight. He doesn't do anything attractive. He just lays around. He's lazy. That's just, no, nobody's going to want to fuck him, right? Especially not me. Gross. Is it that, or is there something wrong with you? And if you're having trouble figuring out that, maybe there truly is something wrong with you, go to the doctor. You could have some kind of hormonal imbalance. Like I said, many different reasons, but you owe it to yourself and your partner. You owe it to your partner, unless he's an asshole, fuck him. But don't fuck him. You owe it to you to fix this and have a healthy sex life, because only bad shit can come from not having a healthy sex life. Okay? Let me tell you, if you are denying your partner's needs, they are more likely to go out for an affair. Now, some of you might be like, good, I wish a motherfucker would, because I could finally leave him. You can leave him now. You don't have to live that way. So don't go down that line of thinking. Let's just nip that in the bud. But, bud, I always forget which one it is. But yeah, your partner is going to start looking around if you are constantly denying their needs. And you know what? I don't blame them. Crucify me all you want. But if you are constantly rejecting your partner and not even trying and not even seeing their side of like, hey, I'm truly trying to connect with you, but you keep rejecting me. Again, that's a form of abuse. People need that intimate connection. That's why you're married. That's why you're not a roommate. You can call your best friend up, but you can't get between the sheets with your best friend. Never mind. You might can. I'm not even going to try going down there, because it's 2023, and man, you can pretty much do anything and everything. But what I'm saying is, it's not fair to your partner, and it's especially not fair to you, even if you do not realize it. And like I said, I have a lot of friends who are in these marriages, and it's just like, there's nothing there. And you can say, oh, well, we need to rekindle the spark. Me and Johnny need to rekindle the spark. Oh, come on. When people talk about rekindling the spark, it's not going to be a weekend in a cabin. And then you're just going to be wildly in love with each other again, like a new relationship energy for the next month. It takes work. If you're low libido, if you're high libido, that shit's easy. If you're low libido though, it takes work. You have to see your partner in a different light, and that might not be possible, because again, it's hard for people to change, and many of them don't want to change. And a lot of times you're just with someone that you're not matched with. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that sucks, dude. That sucks. Like, you might just not have that chemistry. Maybe you had it at the beginning. Kids changed it. Hey, it happens, but you're not stuck and you don't have to live that way. You can either fix these issues or move on and find someone who gives you those butterflies back and who you don't dread going to bed with at night and having to come up with an excuse like, I got a headache. I don't feel good. I'm too tired. You're actually like, bitch, let's go to bed at 6 p.m. because I'm ready to get between these sheets with you. And I can already hear you now. You're like, oh, but that fades and yada, yada. It does to an extent, but it's still real. I also know people who've been married 20 plus years and they are still having a very healthy sex life several times a week. And you can tell like they're still touching on each other and smiling at each other and laughing and just loving each other. You know, you can tell couples who are not doing it and couples who are doing it. Couples who are not doing it always like rolling their eyes at each other, bickering. They're always constantly fighting. And you can just pick up on that energy surrounding them. Like, or they just really don't talk. They're both sticks in the mud. I don't know. There might be some sticks in the mud out there now that I think about it that are super, super kinky. But I don't want to have that kind of relationship with my partner. And I don't think anyone wants to have that kind of relationship. I think most women and men want to have that loving relationship where you're looking at each other smiling and you're laughing and you're dancing spontaneously in the kitchen. And, you know, he reaches over and puts his arm around you or goes for an ass grab. Because I know you may roll your eyes at that now if you're a low libido woman, all you women out there, but lose it and you're going to start to feel really bad about yourself. You think you have confidence issues now? If your husband gets rejected enough, he will start looking elsewhere or he's just going to stop trying with you altogether. And that is really going to give you confidence issues and trust issues. Am I saying if you don't fuck your husband, he's going to go have an affair? No, I'm not saying that. Although it is very highly likely and true and could happen. Ask me how I know. I've seen many women go through this. What I'm saying is, again, because I know I'm going to get so much shit for this, I'm saying you deserve a healthy sex life. And you need to do what you need to do to get it. And that starts by either fixing yourself or fixing your relationship. And if he's not willing to put in the work, it's not fair to you to live not to your full potential and not to your full femininity and your full womanhood and your full sexual goddessness because your man is shit. And he's not willing to fix his shit. Like that sucks. So you may think you have a low libido, but really you just have a really sucky ass husband who's become a roommate. Or you may think you have a low libido, but you could have a health issue. You could have a hormonal imbalance. You may think you have a low libido, but you could just have very low confidence because you're worried about your mom bod. And your husband probably doesn't even give it a second glance or a second thought. Wait, he better be giving it a second glance, but not a second thought because he loves you. At least I hope he does. If he doesn't, you know, back to number 2, he's an asshole and that's why you don't want to fuck him. I hope I've been clear in explaining this. I'm not trying to put the blame on anybody. This subject could go so much deeper. Ha ha ha. That's what she said. But it truly could. There's so much surrounding sex. You could also feel like shame around it because maybe you had a religious upbringing and you're supposed to be a good little girl. There could be that whole Madonna whore complex. You could have, your man might have cheated on you before and you don't want to screw him because you have trust issues. And that's totally valid. All these reasons are valid. I am not telling you nothing is invalid of why you're feeling like you don't want to have sex with your husband. I'm just telling you that it's not healthy to not have sex ever and to have not want a desirable, intimate relationship. You're meant to connect with your partner. So it's not healthy to deny yourself. And if you have no reason to deny your partner, because again, I know. You got to think about your partner's needs and feelings. They should not supersede your needs and feelings. Marriage is 100. You both give 100%. But again, this is something you need to think about for you and your partner, but really for you. I see women out there now who are living their best life, and they're traveling and they're eating good food and having great sex, and they are so happy. And I just wish more women would see that and understand that you don't have to go to bed with a headache every night. You can find or work to create that type of relationship where you truly are both happy and getting your needs met, and you have a mutual sexual satisfying relationship and no bullshit, abusive, toxic behaviors in there, like trading chores for sex or money for sex. Oh my gosh, I see that too. Like women are like, oh, will you buy me a car? Can you give me a Range Rover if I give you a blowy from here to the end of the year? Like, come on, that's not even cute, dude. That's just, don't do that to yourself. Go buy your own fucking Range Rover and get your needs met. And don't feel like you got to be married to someone who you don't want to do that with. And you have to bargain with yourself and your partner. Come on. You deserve more than that. You're worth more than that. So get yourself checked if you think it could be hormonal illness, things like that. But just dig down deep. Ask yourself some important questions. You don't have to tell your partner you're soul searching your feminine energy. Just do it. Make those changes if that's truly what you want. And if that's not what you want, and if it's a him problem and you're like, no, he's just not going to change. It's just him. He's just lazy and lays around on the couch all day. And I'm never going to be attracted to that, because who's attracted to that? First of all, dudes, that's just, come on, get off your butts. No, then you need to make changes for yourself. You're not stuck. And don't say, oh, well, I'm staying for the kids because, it's just sex and we have a great relationship otherwise. It's not just sex. It's never just sex. There's a lot surrounding having an intimate, open communication, trust relationship where you can be balls to the wall, vulnerable with that type of intimacy. It is life-changing. You will be so much happier. I saw a TikTok the other day that was a woman sitting, it was an older woman. She's probably maybe in her 50s. And she was sitting on this man's lap and they were just laughing. And it was like, it said, the text on it was, it makes me so happy to know that my mom found her soulmate, even in her 50s or something. I'm so glad my parents divorced. Children know. Children are watching you. Children know healthy relationships versus unhealthy relationships based on what you are teaching them. If you want to teach them a healthy relationship, you need to model that. That is spontaneously dancing in the kitchen and laughing with your partner and smiling and giving them a kiss on the cheek or a quick, a quick slap, booty grab. It's just, that energy is priceless in a household. They are watching. So don't say, oh, it's just sex and, I'm staying for the kids and that's okay. Because they absolutely pick up on happy households. And part of having a happy household is having great intimate relationship with your partner. Because that's what they are. They're your partner, not a roommate. So I'm sorry to call low libido women out on this. Again, I get it. You could have many reasons why you don't want to do it. But start there with just asking the question, is it you or is it him? And then start creating a path to fix it, whether that path is therapy, counseling. Maybe you need some type of medication because you have an illness going on. Maybe you need to work on yourself and your confidence issues. That could include counseling. It could include working out, doing whatever you need to do to feel better about yourself. Go buy yourself some lingerie, whatever. So many answers to these issues that you're having. Or It could be that you're just feeling stuck and you aren't with the right person. And maybe that hurts to hear because you think that's the right person. And that's who you married and you've been together for 20 years, but you just don't feel this spark. And no matter what you've done, you've never been able to get this spark back. Do you want to live the rest of your life that way? I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you the hard stuff. That's okay if you're mismatched and if you can't do anything about it. Then you need to ask yourself a tougher question. Do you really want to live the rest of your life in an intimateless marriage without having a partner who you can be balls to the wall, vulnerable with in an intimate way? Because it is an amazing feeling to have someone on your side like that and someone you look forward to kissing goodnight and more. Haha. No more headaches. No more bargaining. Take control of your sex life. It is absolutely crucial to you being a healthy, happy human being. You're not stuck. You can take the action to fix what needs to be done and do what you got to do. No matter what the answer to that question you're asking yourself is, you can do it. I see you scrolling on Instagram past relationship goals and rolling your eyes at the goo goo gaga eyes couple who have been together for years. And you're saying, that's not real. It is real. And you can have that too. If you're looking for some suggestions to get you in the mood when that time comes, might I highly shamelessly plug and recommend some of my rom-com books. They are on the super spicy side. So be sure to go to catadams.com or fritzycox.com if paranormal is your thing and check those out. Thank you so much for listening. If you love the show, please leave a rating, a review. And if you know anyone who also might love the show or who could benefit from this information, please be sure to share it and subscribe. The more we get this out to people, the more people we can help. And I truly believe there's so many women who need to hear these words because so many women are feeling stuck. Also, if you're looking for me, you can usually find me on the gram at author Cat Adams, and be sure to head over to my website, and that's Cat Adams, Adams with a double D's.com. Subscribe to my newsletter for the latest information. Also, when you subscribe, you're going to get a free novella. And just be forewarned, my raunchy rom-com is as dirty as my mouth. So if that's your thing, go for it. It's super hilarious. But thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, please stay safe, and I'll see you on the other side.